Back again. Actually been working most of the day on this. First chance I've had to actually do any recording, but I wanted to do a quick recap on what we're trying to accomplish here and where we're at. I believe in the last video we had seen the well being drilled, which it is. And this is our well right there. I got most of the debris out of the way. I still have some work to do on it because I met with the well guy this morning and he instructed me. So if you look closely at the well and the cap, there's water flowing down the sides. That means we have constant pressure overflowing this well. So what he instructed me to do is dig a trench from the pipe out about 12 inches down, and he's going to connect the pipe at that level underground here using a pitless adapter. So that being said, that's what I'm getting ready to do now. Now, prior to that today, I had Paul here helping me out, and we worked on these blocks again. So now, for the solar panels. So we're still at the same point with these, except we now we're still at that point with the racks for the solar panels, but I was able to get all of the last 3 Mafia blocks set in place where they're going to be now. So now I'm good to go to start building. Unfortunately, I can't start building today because, so let me show you. We added more stone back here all around this one because we ended up having to shift it back, and this one as well. But now, so if I look down the line of Mafia blocks, they are all perfectly in line running down, and they're all the same height, same level, and they're good to go. Any minor adjustments, I'll have to make adjustments with the lumber, which is possible, but they do need to be pretty close. And when I was doing this project and came up with this idea from using the Mafia blocks, wasn't really sure how it was going to work out, because when they pour the Mafia blocks, they're not perfect shape. The way they form them, the way they pour them, it's just leftover concrete. So you're getting what you're getting, and you have to work with it that way. So it's been a little bit challenging that way. Getting the blocks set perfectly level and same height and forward and back has been a little challenging because they are about 4,000 pounds each. So Buttercup, that is Buttercup once again, did a pretty good job at lifting them today. With Paul's help, we were able to use a rear bucket and pick them up with the front teeth on it using the bucket and the short arm, because the short arm will lift it, but the large arm will not. There's not enough hydraulics to that long arm. It's just too heavy for it on top of the 4,000 pound block. So so we were able to get the blocks moved despite a late start. Got the blocks moved, so I'm ready to continue on with the framing. But before I do that, I have to trench out from the well pipe out. I'm going to come across with a downhill slope. I'm going to continue all the way over to probably this area right over here and stub the pipe out where the elevation changes. So Gonna work on that now. Gonna do some digging and run the pipe, and he's requiring a 1-inch black poly line run from there, from the pitless adapter to that point over there, which isn't very far. It's probably actually only 60 feet, 50 or 60 feet. But there's a little bit of digging involved. And Buttercup, though it's great with big heavy stuff and everything, we'll see how she is with finished digging, where we don't have to dig that low and if we hit rocks and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we are back at it. I actually got some blue skies today, looking beautiful. It's about 6:30, 7 o'clock. And we are going to be back at it. I finished trenching for the runoff line for the water pipe, and that's going to go from here, which actually goes out into the woods over here. And I trenched down as much as I could. It was hard with Buttercup getting this last section because I had to get it sideways, but then it goes all the way up and around the corner over there to where the pipe is up in this corner. So we'll walk over there now. I can only imagine how wet it is down there because it's got water running through it all night, so it's probably very muddy. Keeps going up, around the corner. And all the way up to where our well is. But you can kind of see, you can see the water flowing down. But when digging this, I was instructed by the well guy to go only a foot down and then make sure it's pitched all the way down. So it goes about a foot there, and then by the time I get down to the bottom, I'm probably a few feet down. Not that it doesn't really have to be that deep, because there's already a pitch, because everything is kind of downhill here. That's just kind of how it worked out when I was digging. So it's much deeper down there. I'm gonna run the pipe right now. The pipe is over here, black poly line. I happen to have 70 feet of it right here. 1-inch black poly. It's called endopoly water pipe. So I'm gonna roll that into that and backfill all this today. I do have to still run my electrical and water lines that are leaving the pump house out, but those have to be 4 feet down. And I'm probably gonna go in the opposite corner, because the pump house is 8 foot by 8 foot. So I'm probably going to have one corner over here where the pipe comes up for the well. That'll be the far right corner, rear right, and then the pump house will go over here, and that's probably where I'll probably put the electric and the water lines going out from the pump house and run them out from here, because they have to be 4 feet down. The electric doesn't, but the water lines do, because we got to be below the freezing point. So frost line. Okay, so back at it this morning. I'll show you that real quick. So there's our pipe where they're gonna make our overflow. You could see that's how much water is sitting in our ditch. And it just keeps overflowing from there and running out here. So hopefully Chaz gets back to make that connection, so we can dry up a little bit over here, because right now it is, I wouldn't even step in these spots here. You'll just sink right down. But yeah, so it's backfilled, comes across underneath the Ranger, goes down the hill here. Let's see if I can step through here. This is where I left the pipe. It looks like the rocks are just piled on top of it. They're not. I actually have like a cavity in there that I built. So when I set the rocks down, I did it and then set stuff over it so that nothing can crush the pipe or anything. So it is kind of loose in the center there. So that's where the water will overflow out, and hopefully it stops after a little while, because otherwise it's going to get pretty wet in over in this area here if it continues. So